Hello, welcome back to Goldborn. Last time we were starting and sort of dealing with a whole bunch of industries that we have. This time we're probably going to complete the third ring, I guess, around here. That's kind of the short-term goal. We also need some more trees cut down so that we can have ash, because we have to burn all that, and then once we burn all the ash, we will have we run out of room for... No, we didn't run out of room. We're almost out of room. So, once we do that, we will... Actually, no, we still got barrels. I just noticed that we're almost at 2,000 food. You know, I might actually... Okay, you know, we're going to have a second guy making food. Okay, so I guess we're just going to start digging. So let's do that now. Alright, so let's turn this on. Alright, now we could just take the time to dig all of the, like, gems and stuff out of here, but that's not why we're doing this right now. We'll do that later. Skip the kaolinite, I guess. Because the real thing we're digging out is this. Digging out all of this. It's faster just to do it with the mouse, I guess. I mean, I know you're not supposed to do things with the mouse in this game, but it's so much easier. And really what we need is more, like, metals. And which, I mean, we have so many... We have like 100 layers to work with, so we're never going to run out of metal in this game, probably. I mean, if we do, we can always buy more, but... for now, our main goal is to get as much metal as we can, so I can do all my building projects that I'm looking at doing. It doesn't say much, but... Basically, once we get the ring around our fort, we'll be able to start moving on to the next level of stuff I want to get done. I think after that, obviously we need to get bags and cloth industry finished going. After that, we need what else do we need? Probably need dyeing. Aside from dye, we also need soap, which we're going to take care of probably in the near future. Trying to think of anything else we're going to really need right away. The thing about this game is that it turns into a game of priorities. So everything you do sort of you just have to decide on the priority of where you are at any one time with something that you're doing. So obviously food and drink always comes first. After that, security, and then once you get that up, everything else is sort of as you want to do it. So, for example, I have not really done anything with, like, training a military or anything, because I've sealed my entire fortress off from the outside world. And in the case of the dogs spying anything or seeing anything that might attack us, we just close the gates, and then once the gates are all closed, obviously we can just, wait for them to leave, because aside from that, we're completely self-sufficient. We really don't need anything from the outside world. We're not dependent on trade. We're not dependent on anyone from the outside giving us or helping us in any regard. So, in that sense, we're pretty much okay. God damn it! All this gypsum we can't use for like anything except plaster powder, which we don't need, and like cutting it into gems, which is not worth any money. So seeing large gypsum deposits are usually a bad thing, because they're the worst sort of veins you can find. Not that you don't need gypsum for a thing, like you still need gypsum so you can set bones and stuff, but you don't need this much gypsum. Like, one size of this will be enough for like 40 years of a fort. And most forts don't last that long, so you would never need to worry about that. But But in terms of like long-term goal, I still want to stick to my long-term goal of, oh my god, look at this. This is, I want that and I want it now. It's my money and I want it now. Where's I going? Oh yeah, so long-term goal for the fort is essentially, well, there's more here too. It's really hard to see, but it's there. So where they're going. Long-term goal for the fort, obviously, is still to produce masterwork stuff, become the mountain homes, or the mountain home, start making masterwork stuff, like masterwork weapons and armor, and export those masterwork weapons and armor to the outside world. Set up other locations, like send dwarves out to go colonize places. That's sort of our goal at present. So. A little bit of gold there, it's nice. So that's like it's like what I'm focused on, I think, in terms of what do you want to accomplish long term. In the short term, obviously, we need to dig all this out. We're going to have more metal than we can know what to do with for a while, which is not a problem. It just means we're going to need more bins, which we can make out of metal because we'll have so much of it. Food and drink are obviously going to be something we want to get ahead of. I mean, we're already pretty much ahead of food and drink, given we have about 2,000. And you can probably keep a fort at like 500 and be okay. I think my ultimate goal is to have about 10,000 food and drink stocked up, which is insanity. You really shouldn't need... there's zero chance that you ever need that much food and drink. There's no point in having 10,000 food and drink, but I usually do. If only because in case of disaster, that's like 10 years worth of food. So in case of like natural disaster, in case of your fort almost dying, having 10 years worth of food and drink is probably worth having. It also keeps your brewers and your cooks doing things. It also reduces the amount of storage you need, because it's easier to store a few plants, or it's easier to store a meal which contains 4 plants than it is to store 4 plants. So 1 meal versus 4 plants, essentially. I know I'm not making a whole lot of sense, probably, but that's the goal. That's the in my head. That's what I want to do. There's more iron. I didn't even see this here because it's like the texture for it in this pack is so hard to see when it's right next to. It's easier to see when it's not next to chert because they're like the same color. They're the same color and the same like pattern almost. So. Ooh, more gold. Just dig that out. We already have some legendary miners, so we should probably let them do their thing. But I would also like to get enough production and enough stuff going that I could trade. I could probably trade food at some point. I probably don't need to hoard food and drink. And as much as I really want to stick with only doing trade goods. I really want to stick with only trading masterwork goods, but I may consider not doing that just so we don't start losing guys to moods and things. So we can get silk and other things that we're not going to be able to produce. Because producing silk is very difficult, and it's even harder to do. It's a pain in the ass to try and produce silk. In this game. Oh god, there's more on this floor. I didn't even see that. We're gonna dig around this. Dig around there. Just so I don't stupidly open up the entire fort to lava later. That'd probably be not a bad idea. I just totally forgot that there was more metal up here. And this has been a long episode of doing absolutely nothing. It's trying to get all the metal out of here. Which I guess I could auto do it. I guess I could just set it to auto. But the problem with auto is that it's finicky and it doesn't always take everything out, which is a big issue. You'll see jumps where there's 2 or 3 holes, and it won't move diagonally sometimes. And it's just a pain. So now I know I'm going to get it all out. We'll have more metal than we'll ever need. Well, maybe not. I don't know about that. That might not be the truth. So they're going to do all that. course, we're doing bins and blocks. We're also going to need more. Obviously, we need ash. Ash is a bar, so we're going to need more bins. Alright, more cages are done. More rock mechanisms are going to be done soon. I just realized we're going to need more spot for gems, I think. Oh god. What is this? Weapon stockpile. Alright. Okay. Guess we'll dig this out. Add another stockpile there. Okay, it's winter now. So winter has just come. Obviously winter is here, at least, is not that dangerous because we're not in like a super cold biome or super what do you call it? Desolate biome, basically. So we're not like winter here doesn't mean very much comparatively. It just means just changes what we can grow essentially. I should probably check to see if we need to like set up our farmers to begin farming, or if I wait till spring to do that. It really doesn't matter. Doesn't matter too much. So we should probably check our farms. So okay, we can only grow plump helmets or dimple cups, and we don't need to grow dimple cups, obviously. Don't need to do that. So they're gonna keep doing things. We need to finish building this. Why do we keep... What are these? Badgers. Oh, so the badgers are walking into our cage traps. Then getting scared off, and then running back. Alright. Okay then, well, I guess we're gonna have more cage traps. Or more cages full of badgers, I suppose. No, I don't think this is going to be enough. We need a few more. At some point I need to build a prison, actually, now that I think about it. Do I have I don't know if we've gotten a mayor yet. Should probably check that before, like, disaster strikes. Yeah, we're going to need a few more. Alright, so stocks, bars. There's a lot of silver. We can probably do more with that. We got coke. Alright, so let's make some more. Another 50 copper cages and mechanisms, and another 50 of those. Can make them only out of chert, which you know what we'll do. So we're doing that. No one's dug this out yet. Which I guess makes sense, because they're going to have like 8 million things to dig out right now. So it'll get done. I'm sort of... This is where you have to sit back and wait and let your guys like actually try to finish things. I'm actually going to set this to stop making food for a bit, because I want them to haul the food. I don't want all of this going bad, so I'd rather they haul the food that needs hauling at the moment. We have too many hauling jobs. Alright, we don't have a mayor yet, but we should probably plan for a mayor, so... oh, I forgot there's stuff there. So let's not put it there. Let's put it, like, here, I guess. Oops. Put our second group of, nobles here. Yes, get rid of that. So the second group of nobles will be here. And that's fine. What is this and why is it on the ground? Elf tooth amulet. Now you can keep that. If anyone wants to wear an elf tooth amulet, I'm not gonna what's the word? Stop them, I guess. I'm not gonna besmirch their desire to wear the bones of elves. Because why not? There's still stuff in there. That's great. Okay, gemstones. No bins. And I'm probably gonna need to set bins, but that's... We got enough moving and hauling stuff around right now where I need to just let them do things. Should probably also set them to stop making drinks, because we have enough... Oh, we have so many seeds, we don't have bags. Needs empty cage. Do we not have cages? Do we run out? How did we... Oh, because I haven't started smelting the cages yet. Oh, the badge. Okay. Wait, what was that? Furnace operator is fighting... Oh, that was when we fought the goblin thieves. Okay, that was a while ago. That was a while ago. Need empty cages. You guys forging? Okay, they've started forging the cages, so that's fine. We're a little behind, but we're okay. Kinda. I just need to let them work, essentially. I need to stop giving them more jobs and just let them handle things. Which I say as I immediately think of more jobs for them to be doing. Oh god, we have so many badgers. We have so many badgers. Why do we have so many badgers? We could just keep the badgers, but I'm not going to. I just realized we need barrels and bins. Oh no, we got bins. That's fine. We're going to need bins around the time that I start doing other things, but God, please take the roasts, love of God. Yeah, we definitely need bags. We need for all the seeds. God, no! Don't cook the food. Don't cook the drink. Cook everything else, but don't cook the drink. Generally, like that was why I wanted to do them separately. How we still somehow have so many idlers? Why do we have so many idlers? There's no way. Did we run out of space? I think we ran out of space. Alright, well, let's get smelting, I suppose. God, we have so much. So much to smelt. Oh god, we're gonna be here forever. Granted, we don't have a lot of things individually, but oh god, do we have so much stuff to smelt. Do we want a third one? Yeah, why not? Okay, so we'll do 3 of those. We are going to need to find something to do with all these gems at some point. We're also going to need to cut down some more trees. Alright, they got the cages done. That's good. Time for more cage traps, because like 300 of them is not enough. More cage traps. I think we'll be done with the cage traps for now. I would stick them inside here, but caravans can't walk over cage traps for some reason, so I guess because the game doesn't know how to handle them if they do that. Okay, so that's done. No, we don't need that. Alright, we need 4 beds. We are going to need to make a whole bunch of other stuff, so I should probably let their bars handle. They can make everything out of platinum. Or I could dig the platinum out here. I suppose I could dig this out. I'm not sure. I guess the only reason I didn't dig all this out was because I was somewhat like concerned that it would be wouldn't be all symmetrical. It would look bad. But at this point, I kind of want the platinum more than I want things to be symmetrical. So I guess we'll do that. Yeah, it's not nearly as good as I thought it would be. I was like, oh man, this is going to be so good, and then, Yeah, it turned out not to be. I don't know why I like things to be symmetrical like that, but I do. Yeah, whatever. More medals. God, there's so much metal. I suppose I could also have them doing like engraving and stuff, but I'd usually just slow everything down. All I need to do, give them more hauling, give them more gathering jobs. That's what I need, more work, because they haven't worked enough. They need more jobs. So many more jobs. What was this? Okay, we're at a lignite. That's fine. That's not really. Wow, we have that few cages? Oh, I didn't realize. This will make like 30 more iron gauges. That'll be fine. We're also gonna need more bins probably, but for now it looks like we're okay. The thing is, I look at that and I say we have 33 idlers, and I'm like, well, they're all idling, so clearly that means I need to give them things to do. Hauling jobs are always good for having things. We should probably start butchering some of these cats. The cats and the dogs are starting to overpopulate, I think. I think that's what it's going to be next time. Because we finished the cage traps finally, so that's good. There's a skunk out there. Someone's become a farmer somehow. Just because they're using the farmer thing. Cut down more trees. What was it? Alright, make ash. Let's make like 200 ash. Now that I've done that, we also are going to need more bins. So let's make like 50 copper bins. So we're going to need all that. We're going to need it almost immediately, I'd say. So yeah, I think we're finally gonna get started. After all this time, I feel like we're actually gonna get started on something. Finally made it over 2,000 food though, so we're sort of making progress on that front. Okay, we gotta do something with all these badgers. We gotta do something. We have to butcher all of them. Oh boy, that's gonna be a mess. So there's some making copper bins. That's good. Making ash. That's also good. We're gonna need to make buckets too, so that we can have the lye in there. Okay, process plants, and also we should probably tell our looms to weave the cloth. And I think I'm gonna call that for this one. I think I'm going to call that for this episode. Next episode, we should be finally making all the lye soap, and I need to make sure I remember to make the buckets and everything. So I think that'll be next time. Should I also make some more barrels? Probably. Yes, that'll be next time. See y'all later.